Welcome to Discovering the Law, and welcome to our first 2025 episode of Discovering the Law. Today we have a very special guest, a cultural luminary and an amazing diplomat representing Italy, the Consul General of Italy in Boston, Consul Arnaldo Minuti.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much for the invitation. And yeah, I'm also proud to be the first guest in 2025. So thank you for choosing Italy as a guest for the interview. Thank you.
It's our honor, Consul Minuti, especially because recently Boston was selected as the capital of creativity in the world. And this is under your leadership here as Consul General in Boston.
Thank you. This was in 2024, so last year. So we have completed the year of Italian creativity in Boston. And for us, this was, I would say, an exceptional opportunity to promote Italy, to promote, I would say, like 360 degrees of what is Italy. So we started with this program, which comprised a lot of activities to showcase Italian culture. We supported, we did a lot of initiatives to support the Italian language, which is very important also to better understand the Italian culture. Then, of course, the idea was to foster scientific and technology cooperation between Italy and this part of the United States. And of course, which is part of our mission, is to promote economic and business relations. So we worked a lot and we had this opportunity actually under this, in this framework of promoting the Italian creativity. All over the year we organized activities which culminated in the Festival of Italian Creativity, which was held at the Consulate General of Italy here in Boston, downtown, in November. So it was, as I said, for us something special, and I think also something very fruitful for us, very important. The idea was also to showcase and to present the Italian excellence already present in Boston. So as a bridge, so to build on this presence, to build bridges, new bridges between this part of the world and Italy. You know, for Italy, for Italians, Boston was, I would say, an historic destination of the Italian migration. So there is in Boston, you know, the North End, you know, East Boston. So there are areas in which we find the Italian presence, which is more an historic presence that was here since long time. But there is also a more recent migration, which is composed by people that are coming to Boston to take advantage of the great opportunities that the city is offering. So of course Boston it's not up to me to say, but of course Boston is considered the capital, let's say the education or the cultural capital of the US, and also one of the main centers for innovation in the US. So we are proud to see here that there are a lot of Italian scientists, a lot of Italian academics. So in these in the centers of education, very famous that you find here, you find a lot of professors from Italy, a lot of researchers, and actually you find also a lot of artists, for example. So we were also proud to present that to showcase, let's say, also the artistic presence of Italy in Boston. So a big effort for us, a big project, but we are very satisfied because it was an achievement for us.
But as a long-time resident of Boston, I echo and join you in your description of Boston, absolutely. Consul Minuti. So, more generally, how would you define the mission of abroad, Italian mission abroad?
Yes. So I could focus, of course, in my experience and on the US, in the US, of course. So, for example, the Consulate General of Italy in Boston is part of a we call it the diplomatic and consular network of Italy abroad. Which is in the US, headed by the Italian embassy in Washington. So at the embassy you find the ambassador, who is the official, of course, representative of Italy towards the government, the American government. And then the network is composed by several consulates. So we have a fairly sophisticated, I would say, presence, which is done by consulates, by offices of trade promotion, by Italian Institute of Cultures, so spread all over the US. And we, of course, we cover the country, and in our case, in the case of consulates, we provide services to the Italian community in the US.
Wonderful. Now, as Consul General of Italy in Boston, what is your personal mission here in Boston?
My personal my personal mission is twofold. So, as I said, the main activity of a consulate is the provision of services to the Italian community. We count in our jurisdiction, so we operate and we are responsible, let's say, for the five states in the New England area, so Massachusetts, of course, then Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Rhode Island. So we cover this area. In this jurisdiction live approximately 25,000 Italian nationals, meaning people that have the Italian passport. So they are citizens of Italy. In many cases, of course, they are dual citizens, of course, but for us, of course, they are also they are Italians, and so they are entitled to receive assistance and services from the consulates. From the consulate, and so for them we have a series of services like which ranges from passports. We work a lot on citizenship. You know, I said that there are 25,000 nationals, but probably there is the double or the triple of people of Italian origins, of Italian heritage.
Correct.
And so our work in some cases is also to assist them in having their Italian citizenship recognized, so which is an important part of our job. And then, of course, we also provide them assistance, meaning if they need to do something in Italy and they need documents, of course we we act as a notary public for them if they need, of course, to do something in Italy. And then another part of the consular activities, of the consular services, is providing services to foreign nationals, or let's say, I would say Americans in this case, who would like to spend or to visit Italy and to stay for a long time in Italy. And so I'm talking about the visa sector. You know, Americans, of course, they can of course freely travel to Italy, but if they would like to stay more than 3 months, so more than 90 days, they need let's say, to stay in Italy, they need a visa. And this is the case, for example, of American students who choose Italy as a destination to progress in their studies. And by the way, I'm I'm usually proud to say that recently, in the last 2-3 years, according to the data that we receive, Italy is the first foreign destination for American students. So, for example, our annual production of visa is around 5,000. So we usually issue 5,000 visa per year. And I would say that half of them are for students that would like to spend like 6 months, 9 months, or 1 year in Italy to foster their their studies.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Yes. And sorry, Lucy, for interrupt, but just to finish the concept.
Yes.
So this is the great. So the first, I would say, as I said at the beginning, is our mission is twofold.
Yes.
This is the consular, the core business of the consular activity, but then we have the other big activity, which is the promotion of Italian language, of Italian culture, of Italian business relations with the United States, of the scientific cooperation. So these are the two great areas of our mission, of our job, consular services and promotion of Italy.
Wonderful. That's very interesting. I think I'm going to circle back to what you said, but I would like to ask you also, can you share with us a little bit about your professional story, including how long have you served as Consul General, and your roles that you've had throughout.
So we
your
go personal.
career.
We go personal now.
We go personal. I call Italian personal.
Yes. Okay. No, thank you. So I'm a career diplomat. So I entered the Italian diplomatic service. At the end of last century, very important to say that. So I in Rome, of course, where we have our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which is part of the public administration in Italy. So I entered the diplomatic service, which is a career, basically, the diplomatic career. And in this career, there is, let's say, you alternate working in Rome and working abroad in embassies or consulates or permanent representation or delegation to the international organizations. So I started so my first mission was in Africa. So I was working in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, the capital of Ethiopia. Then I moved from this work at the embassy at the Italian embassy. I moved to Canada, and I was working as consul, Italian consul in Edmonton, so covering the west part of Canada, the two provinces of Alberta and Saskatchewan. Then I came back to Rome. I spent 3-4 years in Rome because it's important always to go back to Italy sometimes. And then I moved again. Actually, I was working at the Italian embassy in Mexico City. Very nice experience, of course. And then from Mexico, I moved back to Europe, and I was working in Paris at UNESCO. UNESCO is the UN agency which is which is fostering education, science, and culture. And so I was working at the Italian permanent delegation of Italy at UNESCO. And so this was an important part of my career because you know, we have said before that we promote Italian culture, and at UNESCO, which is the let's say the agency of the United Nations dealing with culture, education, and science. It was really a good time, a good job, because we at UNESCO, Italy, of course, is well known because we are the country in which you find the majority of the World Heritage, or so you know the list of World Heritage sites. We have actually, so we are really considered for our heritage, and so was an important part of my growth, of my career, let's say. And then from Paris I moved back to Rome, and 2 years ago I arrived to Boston, and yeah, I'm happily here working to promote Italy and to service the Italian community.
An incredibly illustrious career, Consul Minuti. I want to circle back as to what you said about in terms of promotion.
Yes.
In terms of promotion, you discussed that there are some areas to focus. So what is the image of Italy that you aim to present to your jurisdictions? I know you discussed something about the F, so I would like to hear more about that.
Yeah, well, what we would like to present, to focus, is the fact that, you know, Italy, I spoke before about Italian culture, so Italy usually is well known for, we call it the 3F. So food, we all agree that we know the Italian food.
No doubt.
No doubt. Fashion and furniture. Yes. So this, in terms of promotion, traditionally is what Italy is known for all around the world. But we also would like to present something more. The fact that Italy is really an important manufacturing country, especially in these advanced manufacturing sectors. For example, we are very committed in presenting the innovation that you find in Italy. And you find this innovation in many industrial sectors, for example, in pharmaceutical, in industrial automation, for example, or there is a sector, and we are in a marine city, so Italy is a leader in the luxury recreational boating, for example. So these are also something that is less known when you think at Italy. So our mission is also to present an idea of Italy that is not the traditional one, but is also the fact that Italy is grown a lot in these sectors. For example, and I conclude on this part. We are also, we have made a lot of progress in space industry, in the space industry. For example, it's less known, but the International Space Station, the ISS, where sometimes you see that astronauts goes and come back. They are lucky when they come back, of course, but so a great part of the International Space Station was built in Italy. So this is something that we always try to communicate, because it's, I mean, it really gives the idea that we are also in this, we are also very strong in this advanced manufacturing.
And that's something
in technology, yeah.
Thank you, and for sharing that. That's something not known generally, and here no one better than the Consul General of Italy to share with us the achievements of the Italian people and how important Italy is. On that vein, I would like to talk to you. Well, could you tell us a little bit about the most significant celebration of Italy here in Boston?
Yes.
And maybe tell us a little bit about your role and what are your plans for that celebration?
Okay. So when we think about events or moments of the year in which we celebrate Italy in Boston or in the US. Actually, there are basically two moments. I would recall two moments. One is our National Day. And actually the celebration of the National Day is important because the National Day, which is in June, at the beginning of June, June 2nd, it's the celebration of also of the Italy as it is, of course, of the Republic of Italy. But in this celebration, we always remember the important ties that that are between Italy and the US, because Italy is a democratic country, is a free country, and it's like that thanks also to the great sacrifice of the American soldiers, of the American people who came during the Second World War to Europe to fight for us, basically, for our freedom. So the celebration of the Republic Day, the Italian National Day, la festa nazionale, as we call it, is of course a celebration of Italy, but also a celebration in the US of the great friendship between our two countries. And this is the first moment. The second one is the month of October.
Okay.
Because in October, in the US, we celebrate the Italian-American Heritage Month.
Okay.
So all the month is dedicated to celebrate the Italian presence, the history of the Italian in the US, and so these are the two main periods in which we also take advantage of the focus on Italy to promote our culture, our language, and everything of it. Yes.
We are honored to have you here. This is amazing. I think everybody in Boston is really grateful for that heritage and proud, and we are honored that you gave us some time to share with us and for us to learn about Italy. And unfortunately, we've come to the conclusion of our program. I know there's a lot more to say, and I know
I can come back if you want. I'm always available.
Thank you. We would love that because we love Italy and we think Italian is beautiful. Yeah. But for all of you watching us today, we had the privilege and honor to have the Consul General of Italy in Boston, Consul Arnaldo Minuti. Consul Minuti, thank you so much for being here with us today. And for all our viewers, this episode can be viewed at www.discoveringthelaw.com. It's live right now, and it'll be also posted at the studio's website. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Consul Minuti.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Have a good night. And